everybody, and welcome back to Planet Build, and welcome to the second part of the Zookeepers Spa and Resort. In the last video we have added the baboons to this small park, and now we are going to add 2 more animals of the Zookeepers DLC pack. Now let's get right into it. So we're going to add 2 animals in this small section. As I said in the other video, this will be a small park with only the 7 animals which are included in the new Zookeepers DLC pack. And I wanted to give it a spa and resort looking vibe. And I already did the baboon habitat in the last video, and that gave me an idea of how I wanted to create the other habitats. So for the Pallas cat habitat, I wanted to add a pond on top of the, besides this pathwork, and it is elevated a little bit just to give it a little bit of height. And I wanted a pond in there because this is a spa and resort, and although the guests actually cannot swim in those swimming pools and those ponds, I do wanted to give it that vibe, so that's why I'm going to add a pond over here. And the water from the pond will actually run down into the Pallas cat habitat. And as you can see here, I changed the color of the water to make it more light blue and give it that Polynesian, Hawaiian sea looking vibe. Now, you know, Planet Coaster 2 is coming out within a week from now, and I'm kind of excited because you can actually now have people swim in water and make those swimming pools for those people, for the guests. And I think this park, this small park that I'm building right now, maybe hints a little bit to Planet Coaster 2, and maybe this, you know, gives me some ideas of what I'm going to build in Planet Coaster 2 when it comes out. And the only thing that I am interested in Planet Coaster 2 is how it works with waterfalls and how easy it will be to create those waterfalls. It is quite hard to actually create a waterfall on a higher level and a river or a pond on the lower level, and to make it look to blend those two water types together. So what I did over here is the path runs over the water, so that gives the illusion that the water is actually running down into the Pallas cat habitat. And if you cover that up with some rocks, I do believe it gives the illusion of, well, the water running down into the Pallas cat habitat. Now, besides these 3 animals that we are adding in this park at the end of this video, there are still 4 more animals to add in this park, and the next that I will be adding will be the Sifaka monkeys. Is it the Sifaka monkeys? Let me just check if it's the... Yeah, the Coquerel, Sifaka, and we're going to add the Kirk's Dik-Dik. And there are also some Markhors and spectacled bears in the DLC pack, and I do believe those animals do require a colder habitat than I can actually fit in this park. So those 2 habitats will probably be inside, But I do believe I'm going to add those two animals probably when this park is almost finished. So the only thing left for me then to do is to add those two animals. And I probably will combine the two inside habitats with a restaurant or an indoor swimming pool where the guests can actually see from within the swimming pool those two habitats. And I guess that just adds the same thing as I wanted to do for the rest of this resort and spa, is to have those guests have some nice interactions with those animals from a different point of view. So as I said, I added a pond on this higher level, on the same level as the pathwork, and I wanted to create the illusion that you can actually enter this pond as some sort of a hot spring. So therefore I am adding some stairs and some planks just to give the illusion that you can actually get off the path and get into the pond over here. Now eventually later on in the video I did ended up adding some different type of wood in here. So for now I'm just picking this one, but later on I did switch to another type of wood, which probably fit better than this one. So once we're almost finished working on this first habitat, I do want to say that I do believe that the Pallas cat is one of my favorites of the 7 animals in this new DLC pack. And I do love pets, I do love animals, and I don't believe I do want a cat as a pet, but yeah, I think this is one of my favorite in this DLC pack. And it's you know, you get different types of cats, and I do believe this one is, it looks a little bit more chubby than other types of cats, and yeah, I think that's the main thing why I like those cats. So I'm quite curious what kind of animal you guys do think is your favorite in this new DLC pack. So if you want to let me know, just put it down in the comments, and as I said, I'm quite curious about that one. Probably my second favorite in this DLC pack is, yeah, I'm not sure, but I think the baboons. Yeah, I think the baboons. I'm not quite sure why, but I do believe the baboons. That's why I also added those in probably as first, although they're not my favorite. Now for this habitat, I did added a small section in the middle because the tortoise will be on the other side of this habitat. They do not share the same habitat, but I just added a small rock structure on top of the split between those two habitats. Now, as you can see here, I've added some woodwork to cover up the edges of the pots, and it was quite a work, but I think this adds something nice to the spa and resort vibe, because you get the wavy effect in these wooden pillars. Yeah, and I think that adds well to the theming of this spa and resort. Well, it is kind of a work just to place all those pillars one by one in the right direction or in the right height, but once you get the hang of it, you can just easily copy paste it into other sections of your part. Now for the last habitat in this video, we are going to add the African Spurred Tortoise. Is that how you pronounce it? African Spurred Tortoise. In Dutch we call it the sporenschildpad. So it's far from the African Spurred Tortoise. I do sometimes have a little bit of trouble just finding the right animals because the Dutch pronouncement is way different than the English pronouncement. So just like in this case, it's called the sporenschildpad, and it's something quite different than the spurred tortoise. And this will just be a small habitat where I am going to add some rocks and some foliage. These are quite simple animals, you know, they don't need a large habitat to run around because they just cannot run around. They just act kind of lazy and they're just not that fast. So just a small habitat on this side next to the Pallas cat habitat that we built earlier in this video. And I did wanted to add some rocks to the outsides here of this pathway, but well, I just deleted it because I didn't want it. I didn't think those rocks fit well with those fences. So I just used these wooden fences, the pre-built fences. And the thing I like about these bushes is that they fit perfectly with the blue color of the water and gives you immediately tropical vibes when you add those next to the blue water, the light blue water. And as I said, this is just a small habitat for the tortoise. And with that being said, we are almost at the end of this video, and as usual I did put in some highlights, and as I said halfway throughout this video, just let me know which animal is your favorite in this DLC pack. As I said, mine is definitely the Pallas cat. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and stay tuned for those highlights, and also stay tuned for part 3 of this Zookeepers spawn resort, because while recording this video I have already started working on the monkey and the Dik-Dik habitat, and I got some great ideas for that one too, so stay tuned for that one. And I thank you for watching this video and hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.